Let's Go Race, the channel for virtual motorsport.
Hello and welcome to a new video on my YouTube channel. First ein Info to my German-speaking viewers. Dieses Video ist auch mit deutschem Kommentar verfügbar. Der Link zum deutschsprachigen Video findet ihr in der Videobeschreibung. In this video I have several packages from Ascher-Racing, which I can present you. The first one is the Turn R305 sim racing wheel and the Turn R320 sim racing wheel. I also have a matching sticker for the Turn R305 steering wheel. I also have the Turn BP2 sim racing button plate to go with the two wheels, the Turn spacer in the 50mm long version and the Turn quick release. The package you are probably most interested in is the Turn Racing BP2 button plate in combination with the steering wheels. In this video I will show you the Turn BP2 button plate, the two steering wheels and all other packages in detail. I will go into detail about the individual components used in the packages, say something about the materials and explain how the button plate and the steering wheels feel. After that I will make a conclusion to everything. And at the end of the video I will do a test drive with the steering wheel in the form of my triple screen onboard videos in my motion simulator. Let's start with the Turn spacer package. This is a 50mm long steering wheel extension made of black anodized aluminium. The bolt cycle diameter is 70mm and all holes on both sides are through holes with a diameter of 5.5mm. Next I will show you the Turn quick release. The quick release is also made of black anodized aluminium and laser printed on both sides, so you can immediately recognize the base side and the wheel side. Like the spacer, the quick release has a bolt cycle diameter of 70mm and the through holes have a diameter of 5.5mm. The thickness of the quick release is 36mm. The quick release package also includes an Allen key to tighten and loosen the quick release. To separate the base side from the wheel side, just turn the screw out of the quick release, and you can separate the two sides from each other. To tighten the quick release again, the screw must be tightened again. Before we start with the button plate, I will first show you the two steering wheels R305 and R320. The R305 is the steering wheel on the right side with a diameter of 305 mm, and the R320 is the steering wheel on the left side with a diameter of 320. The steering wheel spoke of both steering wheels is made of black anodized aluminium. The larger R320 has a 10 mm dish, and the smaller R305 has no dish. The handles of both steering wheels is made of black polyurethane. This plastic has a hardness of 50 Shor and feels similar to car leather in this form. And because of the structure of the surface, it also feels like car leather. However, the material is not extremely firm, as you would normally imagine plastic to be. The material is slightly flexible, so you can easily press the handles in with your fingers, similar to handles made of car leather. This is the first time I've had a steering wheel made of such a material with such a surface, and I'm more than impressed. But I'm not only impressed by the feel of the material, but also by the shape of the handles and the grip of the two steering wheels. The shape of the handles fits the hands perfectly. The rough surface and the texture of the material make the steering wheel very slip resistant. The appearance and the workmanship of the two steering wheels is also very good. The grips are also different in thickness. The grip area of the R320 has a diameter of 38.5 mm, and that of the R305 has a diameter of 37.5 mm. You can also see that the two steering wheels are shaped slightly differently, especially on the underside. Another difference is the weight. The R320 weighs 600 grams and the R305 weighs 542 grams. For the R305 I was sent this sticker, which you can simply stick on the steering wheel. That's all about the two steering wheels. Let's continue with the Turn BP2 Sim Racing button plate. The Turn BP2 SimRacing button plate package includes the button plate, a second pair of shifter pedals, the USB cable and an extension for the USB cable, a sticker kit, a spacer and various mounting screws to screw the button plate to your steering wheel. Let's start with the materials and the technical data of the button plate. The housing of the button plate is made of a very strong plastic. The housing is matte black and has a rough surface. The weight of the button plate is 388 grams. The button box has a thickness of about 16.3 mm in the area of the 6 screw-on points for mounting a steering wheel. At the 6 screw-on points, we'll find a black aluminium bush with an M5 internal thread for mounting a steering wheel. These bushings have a length of 17 mm. The bushings therefore extend a little at the front and a little at the back. This ensures that your steering wheel not rest against the surface of the plastic, but against the bushes. This is of course much more stable. As far as the size of the button box is concerned, you can check the Turn Racing website to see which steering wheels the button box is compatible with. Now it's on to the buttons, the rotary switches and the funky switch joysticks. The button box has 6 push buttons with a diameter of 12.3 mm. The buttons are all plastic and have a shiny black surface. The push buttons can also be personalized with the sticker kit included in the delivery. With the sticker kit, you have a wide choice to design the steering wheel the way you like it and how you want to use the individual functions. The stickers look great and stick extremely well. In terms of quality, these are probably the best stickers I've had so far. The stickers are matte, relatively thick and even have a slightly rough surface. The buttons have a single point of resistance. The resistance point of the buttons is very tight and the push buttons have a short push range. In addition, the buttons make a really nice and audible click sound when pressed. In summary, the push buttons feel extremely good and crisp and give very good feedback. Now we continue with the 2 rotary switches at the bottom. Both rotary switches have 16 positions in which they engage. On the PC, the rotary switches are each recognized with 2 signals. Turning clockwise is a function and turning anti-clockwise is a function. All 4 rotary switches can be turned infinitely. In addition, both rotary switches have a push button function. The resistance of the rotary switches is very tight and the engagement points can be felt very well. In addition, the rotary switches are very large and are therefore very easy to grip with 2 fingers. The push button function of the rotary switches has a single point of resistance, is very tight, has a short push travel and makes a very nice and audible click sound when pressed. The rotary knobs are made of anodized aluminum and have a shiny rough surface. The rotary switches look very good, are very well finished and have an excellent grip. We continue with the two funky switch joysticks. Here we have 7 functions. The first function is the push function. Here the joystick functions like a push button. The push button function is very tight, has only one resistance point, has a short push travel and makes a nice and well audible click sound. The resistance of the push button function is slightly weaker than the two rotary switches. In addition, the joystick can be pushed to the left, up, right and down. The resistance of the four-way function is tight and very easy to feel. The click sound can also be heard very well. The recess in the middle of the rotary switch makes it very easy to put your finger in there and press in the 4 directions. The operation of the four-way function is very good and easy to use. It is often the case with such joysticks that it is difficult to press in a certain direction. This is completely different here. Just because you push the joystick a little crooked, you don't have to worry about pushing the joystick in the wrong direction. The guidance of the four-way function is very precise and straight. The joystick can also be used as a rotary switch. The rotary switch function has 30 positions in which it engages. On the PC, the rotary switch function is recognized with 2 signals. Turning clockwise is a function and turning anti-clockwise is a function. The rotary switch function can be rotated infinitely. The rotary switch function engages noticeably in each of the 30 positions. The resistance and engagement of the individual positions is very tight. The resistance is not quite as high as with the 2 rotary switches. However, because this is a movable joystick, the slightly lower resistance of the rotary switch function is very well chosen. In summary, the joystick is a very good and helpful function with which you can, for example, navigate in the menu, navigate in the pit menu during the race, or also make settings in the iRacing black box. The joystick knob is made of aluminum and has a glossy black anodized finish. Let's continue on the back. On the back are the 2 magnetic shifters. The 2 magnetic shifters are made of aluminum and carbon. The shifter housing is made of aluminum. In addition, we have 2 different shifter pedals. Flat shifter pedals made of carbon and aluminum shifter pedals with which you can have a little more distance. The aluminum part of the shifter and the aluminum shifter pedals have a smooth and black anodized surface. The 2 carbon pedals have a matte and smooth surface. The shifters feel good. The shift travel is short and very tight. The shifters also make a very nice and loud clicking sound. With the shifters, the position of the pedals can also be changed. In addition, we have a second pedal variant. With this variant, the distance between the pedals and the steering wheel changes by 13 mm. In addition, the distance between the shifters can also be changed. In the lower area at the back, we find a socket for the USB cable. To connect the button plate to the PC, simply plug the adapter into the socket and connect the cable to the PC via USB. To get the cable out of the button plate, you first have to push down the pin on the plug, so that you can pull the plug out of the socket. The socket and the plug are the same concept as found in LAN plugs. The plug and the socket both are very high quality and stable. And because you first have to press down the pin before you can remove the cable from the button plate, the cable will not come loose from the button plate while driving. The spiral part of the USB cable is 38.5 mm long, in addition to the two ends, which are 14 mm on the USB side and 10 mm on the adapter side. The package also includes a USB extension that can be screwed onto the simulator. The USB extension has a length of 1.76 meters. The 3D printed box can be screwed directly to the aluminium profiles so that you can position the USB socket on your simulator as you wish. However, you cannot plug the short USB cable coming from the button plate directly into the USB socket when you have screwed the 3D printed box to the simulator, because the 3D printed box has a constriction so that the USB cable cannot fall out. The two USB cables must be connected together before screwing the socket to the simulator. Depending on which quick release you screw to the button plate, the USB cable socket on the back of the button plate may disturb a bit. To bridge the distance of the socket, a 10 mm spacer is included in the scope of delivery that you can place between the button plate and your quick release. Now we will go into detail how to screw the steering wheel and the quick release to your button plate. The 17 mm long bushings in the middle of the steering wheel already have an M5 internal thread. So you need 6 M5 screws for the steering wheel and 6 M5 screws for the quick release. You also have to make sure that the screws are not too long, because the threaded bushing is only 17 mm long. with the turn steering wheels and my Q1 air quick release, or also the turn quick release, I can use the M5 screws which are included in the delivery. That's all there is to say about the turn racing package. Now we come to the final conclusion and the costs of the individual packages. The Turn R305 and the Turn R320 are both extremely good steering wheels. The most important thing with steering wheels is the quality and how the steering feels to grip. And here, both steering wheels are more than convincing. Both steering wheels feel very good in the hand and offer a lot of grip. Also and especially because of the rough surface. By choosing a synthetic material that also gives a little, the grip areas are very soft and you can even press them into the material with your fingers. A big advantage of the synthetic material is definitely its durability. While steering wheels made of leather or Alcantara wear out over time, these grips are still like new even after months. The price of the two steering wheels is $146 each, excluding VAT and shipping. The 50mm version of the turn spacer is very stable and also very well made. For the black anodized spacer you pay $37 without VAT and shipping. The turn quick release was also convincing. The quality is very good and the quick release is beautiful finished. The functionality of the quick release system is also very convincing. The system held without problems in my test, even with high force feedback settings. To open the quick release, you only have to loosen one screw and then you can separate the two parts from each other. You can get the quick release for $57 without VAT and shipping. Now we come to the Turn BP2 SimRacing button plate. The Turn button plate not only looks very good, but also feels extremely good. The buttons have a very strong and tight resistance, feel and sound very good. The same applies to the push button function of the 2 rotary switches and the 2 funky switch joysticks, and also to the 4-way function of the funky switch joysticks. The rotary switch function of the 2 rotary switches is also very tight and feels great, just like the rotary switch function of the 2 funky switches. Together with this button plate, there are 26 functions on the front. Two other important functions are the 2 magnetic shifters. These have a very good shifting feel, a tight shifting resistance, and can also be individually adjusted with different adjustment options and 2 different shifter pedals. The BP2 button plate convinced me completely, and I can only more than recommend it. You can get the Turn BP2 button plate for $386 without VAT and shipping. The sticker I have for the Turn R305 steering wheel is also available for the R320. There are also other designs that you can order in the Turn Racing shop. A sticker for one of the steering wheels costs $9 without VAT and shipping. I hope you enjoyed the video and was able to answer all your questions. If you have any further questions, please write them into the comments. A link to all packages is also in the video description. Now we come to the promised triple screen onboard video in my motion simulator. Have fun with it and see you next time.